The Khaybar oasis was one of the most fertile and richest areas of Western Arabia. The Jews' inhabitants were mostly farmers who lived in a half of a dozen fortresses. Because of their fertile land and ability to process the desert land into fruitful ground, the Khaybar Jews enjoyed higher living standard than most people in the neighboring areas. A year after the expulsion from Medina, Huyay ibn Akhtab decided to come back to Medina. There was an urgent matter that he needed to take care of. His intention was to help his friend, Ka'b ibn Asad, who was the leader of the Jewish tribe Bani Qurayza, the last Jewish tribe of Medina. At that time, Prophet Muhammad and his Muslim army were at war with the people of Bani Qurayza. Huyay was in the fortress of Bani Qurayza when they surrendered to Prophet Muhammad. But the Prophet had no mercy for the Jewish prisoners of war. Let's see the explanation from Sirat Rasul Allah by Ibn Ishaq, page 464. Then the apostle went out to the market of Medina, which is still its market today, and dug trenches in it. Then he sent for them and struck off their heads in those trenches as they were brought out to him in batches. There were about 5 prisoners in each batch. They were forced to kneel facing the trench, in front of the Prophet. And then the soldiers did their jobs. Among them was the enemy of Allah, Huyay ibn Akhtab, and Ka'b bin Asad, their chief. How many Jewish prisoners did the Prophet kill on that day? There were 600 or 700 in all, though some put the figure as high as 800 or 900. This went on until the apostle made an end of them. 2 years after Prophet Muhammad expelled and massacred the Jews from Medina, he decided to attack the Jews of Khaybar. What is the reason of the attack? Here is the explanation from Tabari, volume 8, page 117. The Banu Sam, who were a part of Aslam, came to the Messenger of God and said,
Rasulullah, by God we have been struck by drought and possess nothing.
But they found that the Messenger of God had nothing to give them. So, the Prophet said,
O God, thou knowest their condition, that they have no strength, and that I have nothing to give them. Open to them for conquest the greatest of the fortress of Khaibar, the one most abounding in food and fat meat.
You have to rob the Jews so that you can eat?
Well, yeah, why not? Allah already promised me victory and plenty of loots for me in Quran, Surah Al-Fatah, verse 20. Allah has promised you believers abundant spoils, which you will gain, so He hastened this truce for you. And He has held people's hands back from harming you, so it may be a sign for the believers, and so He may guide you along the straight path.
The next morning, God opened the fortress of Al-Sab bin Muad for them to conquer. There was no fortress in Khaybar more abounding in food and fat meat than it. So, the reason for the Prophet to attack was mainly to rob other people's property.
Shahih Bukhari, volume 5, book 59, number 510. Narrated Anas bin Malik, we reached Khaybar early in the morning. And the inhabitants of Khaybar came out carrying their spades. And when they saw the Prophet they said,
That's Muhammad, by Allah and his army. Run,
Muhammad
and
his army.
The Prophet said, Allahu-Akbar. Khaybar is destroyed.
Instead of bringing their warriors together into a single army to deal with the Muslim invaders, the Jews chose to hide into their separate fortresses, while hoping to outlast the attack. This defensive strategy did not last long, as Muhammad ended up taking their fortresses one by one in a short time. Prophet Muhammad used the catapult seized from the fort of Marhab to destroy other fortress walls. Kinana ibn al-Rabi was the leader of the Qatibah fortress of Khaybar. Most of the people in the Qatibah region were the Bani Nadir Jews from Medina. Kinana was the husband of Safiya bint Huyay. They both were just getting married. Their happy and peaceful moment ended quickly when the Prophet attacked and conquered fortress Qatibah. Kinana was captured and brought to the Prophet because the Prophet wanted to take away the treasure of Bani Nadir.
Kinana, where did you hide the treasure?
Treasure? We don't have any. We are farmers, not bandits like you.
Mind your language, Kinana. You are talking to a prophet of God.
Prophet of God, my Tushi. You are a killer and a rapist.
Zubayr, torture him and make him talk.
Yes, Rasulullah.
Zubayr collected some dry wood and lighted a fire on Kinana's chest and moved it around with a rod to give him maximum pain. Kinana was already badly injured and bleeding. He passed out without talking.
The Kafir passed out. Maslamah cut off his head.
Yes, Rasulullah.
This is from the History of Tabari, Volume 8, page 122-123. Kinana refused to surrender it, so the Messenger of God gave orders concerning him to al-Zubayr bin al-Awwam, saying, "Torture him until you root out what he has." Al-Zubayr kept twirling his fire stick in his breast until Kinana almost expired, then the Messenger of God gave him to Muhammad bin Maslamah, who beheaded him to avenge his brother Mahmu bin Maslamah. According to Waqidi, page 351, all the elite of the Khaybar Jews were slaughtered. All male family members of Kinana were killed as well. As for the nobility of the Jews, and the people of affluence among them, the sons of Abu Waqia, Salam bin Mishkam, and Ibn al-Ashraf, had been killed. The remaining people had no wealth and indeed were laborers. The most exciting part of jihad for Muslims was the distribution of captured women and the plunder. The Prophet made the first inspection to choose the best ones for himself. Sahih Bukhari, number 335. The Prophet said, "The booty has been made halal, lawful, for me, yet it was not lawful for anyone else before me." A Muslim soldier named Dihya al-Kalbi was not patient to wait for his booty share.
Ya Rasulullah, give me a slave girl from the captives.
Okay, go get what you want.
Dihya ran quickly and grabbed Safiya.
You're mine now, Safiya. Hey, I want her too.
Oh, no. He got the best one.
Ha! You snooze, you lose.
If we can't get Safiya, then Dihya shouldn't have her either.
Yeah. Let's go see the Prophet.
At that time, Prophet Muhammad was distributing the plunder.
Everything taken from Nada and Shik fortresses would go to the troops. Everything from Qatibah region is mine.
Dihya took Safiya to his shack.
Safiya, I already know you since you were in Medina. I always want you for myself. Now, Allah granted my wish.
Don't touch me.
You will like me, Safiya.
How dare you? I'm married.
O Rasulullah. You gave Safiya bint Huyay to Dihya.
She is the chief mistress of the tribes Qurayza and Nadir.
She befits none but you.
Sahih Muslim, Book 8, number 3329. Anas reported, Safiya fell to the lot of Dihya in the spoils of war, and they praised her in the presence of Allah's Messenger and said, "We have not seen the like of her among the captives of war." Prophet's 30-man libido kicked in and instantly aroused him.
Bilal, go to Dihya and bring Safiya to me.
Yes, Rasulullah.
Bilal went to Dihya's shack.
Hey, I'm busy right now. Just leave.
Dihya, Rasulullah wants to see Safiya. Give her to me.
No way, he already gave her to me. Hey!
Bilal brought Safiya and her sister-in-law to Prophet Muhammad so he could choose one or both of them for the night. Dihya did not give up so easily.
How dare you, Safiya is already mine.
Upon seeing her brother's slain body, Kinanah's young sister becomes hysterical. The mercy of Allah was annoyed and said,
Take this she-devil away from me.
That she-devil's offense was to cry out upon seeing her brothers and family's corpses.
Have you no compassion, Bilal, when you brought these two women past their dead husband and brother?
Oh, Rasulullah, I did not think that you would hate that. I wanted her to see the destruction of her people.
Safiya was presented to the Prophet. Prophet Muhammad threw his robe over Safiya to claim her. Sahih Bukhari, number 2228. Safiya was amongst the captives. She first came in the share of Dihya al-Kalbi, but later on she belonged to the Prophet. But Dihya was not prepared to give in.